Go.
Hello, this is Paul from quickandmobile.com, and I am here with the Wheellator. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to go for a bit of a walk here with this Wheellator, and I'll kind of explain what the Wheellator is and who the Wheellator is best for. Now, I'm going to stop here just for a moment because I'm kind of going up a bit of a hill. So let's take a look at this joystick here. I'm going to show you what I can do with this Wheellator. So I'm going to press power on this rear joystick because this is an assistive walking device. I'm going to press the manual and kind of cycle through to get to C1. So I'm going to put my thumb down here, and now the device is actually walking with me. So you can kind of see from the side what the device is actually doing, what I'm doing with the device, and the device is actually moving right along all by itself. Now, I am going to press the power on this rear joystick off for now because I'm going to use this as a regular walker. You can kind of see the scenery. I'm able to kind of get out and I'm able to do things. Now, I do have this ready to turn into an actual wheelchair. Now, this device is unlike a standard Wheellator or a standard walker in many regards because I have the ability to put manual on, and I'll kind of move over here. You have the ability to put manual on this device, which allows the device, instead of being something that I can just push, and I'll kind of demo this here. So I'll turn the joystick on again, and I'll go ahead and cycle through C1, which basically is electric, C2, C3. This would move me along pretty fast. And then we're going to go with M1. So now this puts resistance in the wheels. So even if I wanted to really push the device that much faster, I'm actually able to kind of bear my weight on it, and I'm able to use it to counterbalance me. If I want to go faster, I would put 2, or I'd even put 3 on. So instead of just having a device that's very loose, I'm able to have more of a stable device. And when it comes to using a walker, a lot of people want something that's more stable than just a regular walker or regular Wheellator, because gravity doesn't do all that much to stabilize a device that has 4 small wheels. Now this, and I'm going to turn this off just for a moment. You'll notice that this actually has 2 larger front wheels and smaller back wheels. And it has aluminum forks here in the front. We'll get into the wheelchair mode in a little bit. And it does have a basket underneath. That's where to find us online. You can visit quickandmobile.com. And of course, we're out and about enjoying a good afternoon. So we'll go ahead and put that away. And this device, along with many of the devices that we have, we give you a free battery. So it comes with a total of 2 batteries. And you can see here that we have the battery in this little pouch right on the side, and you kind of have the brain in the other side, and an ample amount of space and storage. And of course, it has the user manual, and it does come with the toolkit as well, which is very nice. It comes with actually a pretty sufficient toolkit. So we'll go ahead and start kind of our journey here, walking again. And I do have hand brakes. Now the hand brakes, if I was on just a regular kind of a walker, I'm going to be riding the hand brakes a lot more. And the beautiful thing about this is that this is a device, even though it does turn into a wheelchair, it's a device that ultimately you would want to use as a walker. I consider this more of a hybrid walker more than a wheelchair. But it does a lot. It can do a lot, and it gets you out of trouble in a lot of ways. And what I mean by gets you out of trouble is, let's just say, for example, the doctor wants me to walk. I've walked. I can adjust the handles, and maybe I get a little bit tired. So I can very quickly decide that I want to have a seat. And I can sit here as long as I want. Now, where a lot of people get in trouble with a regular walker is that, you take a look at where I've come from, and you kind of realize, okay, I've got to get myself back, and then I might have to go on another journey in order to really get back to where I was going. So even though we have the ability to put this in the mode where it has resistance to provide more stability, and even though I can help use this as a walking aid, a motorized walking aid, what if I just get to the point where I'm tired? My legs are tired, maybe I'm a little bit dizzy, maybe I want to go a little bit further and do a little bit more, but I'm kind of in trouble. And do I ask somebody for help? Do I basically start to try to use a device that specifically says don't use this as a wheelchair? Because when it comes down to a lot of the walkers, there's going to be very specific instructions that tell you this is not to be used as a wheelchair. But what people do is they'll sit in these devices and they'll kind of put their feet up, and that really takes a lot of core strength to do that. And then they're going to use those devices as an actual wheelchair. That's not how they're supposed to work. So what I'll do here, I'm going to press this joystick, and I'm going to filter through to get to the 0-1, which is manual. Now the reason I did that is this automatically provides me more stability getting out of the device. Now I'm pretty stable here, and I'll demonstrate one more thing. Now it does have anti-fall technology. So if I'm going to have a slip and fall, for example, it locks the device, provides stability, and allows me to push myself back up. So that's another thing that a regular walker will not do. Regular walker is just basically a device that can help you out a bit, but if you stumble, if you fall, you're in big trouble. Now with this, all I have to do here is I'm going to flip this over. Probably want to lower the back a little bit, which I can do in one of two ways. I can lower the back here, or with the other support, which I just did. Now this is pretty comfortable actually. I have a seat belt also. Now all I'm going to do here, and you see I have this as one, because when I actually use this as a wheelchair, I do want this to be stable. I want to be able to get into the device easily. I don't want instability. And in fact, if I'm using this as a wheelchair, I've probably got to the point where, yes, it's absolutely wonderful to be out and enjoying the sights, and I've done exactly what the doctor wants. I've done what I want. I've gone for a walk, I've been walking, but I know that I have the confidence that I'm not necessarily getting myself in trouble using this as a wheelchair. So all I'm going to do here, I'm going to swing these forward, and you can see right there with my foot, I can swing that right down. So I'm not really bending all that much here. Just very easily working with this device. And I'm going to turn the front joystick on also. Front joystick is going to override the back joystick. I do have a horn. I do have the ability to change the speed settings. And I do have two powerful 250 watt motors. They're right in the rear wheels. Now, when I actually go to sit in the device, keep in mind, let's say let's take a look here at what my hands are doing. My hands are on the bars here. I have stability. I'm resisting the device. The device is resisting me. So I can sit because I've got both of these joysticks on. So this is not just free rolling. It's giving me all the stability I need to sit, and then I'm just, with my feet, bringing these over. So these are locked into place. I don't need to worry about what the rear joystick's doing. And at this stage, I can very easily I'm probably going to continue the walk now, because really it was so nice out. And I mean, we're in Mount Dora, Florida. It's absolutely beautiful. And you can see I'm on the boardwalk here, and I don't know if there's any alligators in there or not. It's always exciting to think that there could be one, and a lot of the time there is one. And you can kind of see over here what I'm looking at. But if I'm using this as a walker and I'm getting exercise and I'm keeping my body mobile and moving, that's great. But for a certain percentage of the walk, look what I'm doing. So I can really kind of complete my walk, and then I can make the decision when I get to really the end here where I'm going. Do I want to continue using this as a wheelchair, or do I want to use this as a walker? Now, I'm going to stop just for a moment. We'll take a look really kind of toward the end of the boardwalk here. Now, I do want you to notice that that boardwalk, it does go down as a slope. So we're basically going down a slope here, which is fine. It's no problem to go down a slope. I do want to point out that this joystick is a Sensi Touch joystick as well. So in addition to telling me how much juice I've got left in the battery, how far I push the joystick is how much power this device is going to have. And for the people that are going to ask, is this airline compliant? Yes, it is. It has two 6 amperage hour batteries that come with it. It's going to function on just one battery at a time, but it is an airline compliant device. So you can take this on the airline. And without the basket, this only weighs 32 pounds. Now I'm going to take my hand off the joystick, and I just want you to notice what happened. This came to a complete stop. Even though I'm going down a decline, it came to a stop. I took my hand off the joystick. So I'm moving around here. I can stop, I can be leisure, I can look at the birds, I can look in the water. There's a nice little bird down there, a couple birds. No alligators today. There's a lot of the time alligators. And here I'm going to kind of make a decision. I'm going to turn. I just want you to see really how easy it is to use this device. I'm going to kind of give it some gas a little bit here. So I'm zipping right along, no problem. And I'm personally 6 feet tall. I weigh 240 pounds. Now there's other devices that look similar to this that are on the marketplace, but guess what? Just being 240 pounds, I exceed their weight limit by 20 pounds. So I couldn't be doing this with the device that doesn't say Wheellator on the side of it or on the back of it. You have to be very careful. This holds up to 265 pounds, up to 265.
And you provide 2 batteries as well?
Yes, and that's another great point, because if the one battery went out, I can very easily swap the battery out, and I have no issues at all. So having the 2 batteries, and I kind of showed that a little bit earlier on in the video, that the second battery sits right there in the basket. Now, I don't know if you've had an opportunity to subscribe to our YouTube channel or not. We've done a lot of videos about the Wheellator. We do other devices as well, review devices, and we'll show you all about this device in separate videos. We've taken the basket off, we've taken the batteries out, we've charged the batteries. This thing folds up to the side. We've folded it, we've transformed it, and we can take a look here now. We've got more terrain. Oh, a couple squirrels right there. And I'm going to continue here. We'll go a little bit more. But for the sake of wanting to get some exercise, let's just kind of put things in perspective. Now, I could have got tired back at that little enclosure that we stopped and we chatted a little bit. And I could have taken a little bit of a rest, and I could have decided, and this is what a lot of people would do that would actually have a walker that would get exercise. Say, okay, you know what, I've gone this far. I really don't have anything to help me get back. You know, worst comes to worst, I can sit in it and use it as, you know, hopefully somebody can push me and I can use it against how the device is going to tell me what it's supposed to be for, which is a wheelchair. And I would have been done. I would have gone back. But look how much further I've come. And all I have to do here, I'm going to turn this joystick off now. And I'm going to, just with my foot, flip that up. I'm going to flip that up. And I'm going to just kind of scoot these out of the way. See, they fold. These fold right to the side. And I'm going to scoot these out of the way, all the way. And I still have the, see how I still have the back joystick on? This is really where the magic happens, because I was able to get into this device and I was able to stabilize the device to get in. And now I need to get out of the device and it's still just as stable. So what I can do here is I can go ahead and turn the power off for a little while, because now I'm feeling pretty well, and maybe I want these handles a little bit higher, which I was very easily able to do, and I'll flip this back forward. Now I'm going to keep this forward just in case, and again you can see that I'm able to really have, right now I'm choosing to use this just as a regular walker. I had a good shot of energy, so it's a regular walker. But it gave me the ability to really do a lot more than I'm used to doing. So instead of turning around, because I took a few steps, I was able to go an incredible amount more, and I'm not worried about how I'm going to get back. That's the beautiful thing. I'm not worried about how I'm going to get back. And take a look at this. I mean, look at this. Look what I would be missing out on if I was using a device that did not have the ability to help me feel more stable when I'm actually walking, or to instantly turn into a motorized seat. So I'll go a little bit further and I'll just demonstrate a couple more things real quick, because maybe I want to get to that gazebo and head back, because it's getting close to supper time and I don't want to miss supper. So I'll turn this on and I'll filter through here the resistance modes. And you kind of have, it shows you really the trip as well, like how long you've gone. So I'll go to C1 and I can actually, I can put this in reverse as well, and I can go forward. So I'm going to use the assistance mode to kind of walk and go forward. I want to pace myself here, okay, because I feel that, you know, to me this is like a sprint. You know, I'm moving. I'm going forward. Now, the other thing is, if this is in wheelchair mode, you can have somebody use this as an attendant bracket. You can see that I have this down, and because both motors are driving, it's giving me stability. So I'm steering this, unlike a device that's just a manual device that doesn't have any motorized assistance. Look what I'm doing. This is going straight. I'm the one who steers it. I'm the one who moves it. I'm the one who controls it. I take my thumb off and I'm good to go all over again. So we'll put this in the manual mode again, filter through, and I'm going to put this on resistance level 3, just because I don't want to use the motor for assistance, but I do want some more stability. I do want something that's stable. And at this point, you can kind of see I'm leaning forward into the device a little bit. Now, if you're still watching this video, it's because you really have a great amount of interest in a motorized and a hybrid walking device. A lot of people do. These are new. I mean, let's take just a look here though. The front wheels. Those front wheels are a little bit bigger than the rear wheels. That's important. These are 8-inch and these are about 9 inches, 9.5 inches. And if this was a plastic part, which some of these have, you know, to me, it reeks of cheapness, and it's something that really can easily break. And if these wheels are the same size as these wheels, it makes it less stable as a walker. Because if I want to use my handbrakes here, I can use the handbrakes and I can use this to help me get up obstacles, which is extremely important. To help me get upstairs, extremely important. And it does fold right to the side, but we're not ready to fold it up. I still want to go on the walk. I'm still walking. I'm still using it as a walker. Now, because I do have the motorized resistance on, I can push this and it stops. It doesn't let me slip or fall. And even if I do become unstable once again, I'll show you. Beeps, I push myself back up, I didn't fall. A disaster was averted very easily. So you have so many safety mechanisms with this device as well. A lot of people want to know about that. And I've already gone a lot further than I would normally go, but again, it's right now, it's November. Well, at the very end of October, pretty much November in Florida. And it is absolutely beautiful. I can enjoy the sunset. I can enjoy going on a walk. And even if I was just walking around my neighborhood, I have the ability to do more than a regular walker would allow me. And if I'm going to an event, if I'm going to a gala of some sort, if I'm going to a gathering, if I'm going to a breakfast, I mean, ask yourself, what would you rather have? Would you rather have just some hunk of metal that has wheels on it that you really don't have the ability to give assistance in any capacity? Because again, look at this. I'm going to go down a decline. It's a very small, tiny little slope, but it is a slope. And if I was using a regular manual walker or Wheellator, guess what? I've got to pull the device back because gravity is going to bring it forward. So I have to now stabilize the device, and I have to stabilize myself. And here, I've got it set to 3. I'm at a pretty decent pace. I'm even breaking a little bit of a sweat, but I'm not worried about going down the slope. I'm not worried about going down a ramp. And again, even going down, you can see that fall prevention lets me reset myself very easily. And because I just had that little scare, that little fall incident, what I'm going to do here is I'm going to filter this through to manual 1 mode, and I'm going to decide that maybe I want to take it easy for the rest of the trip here, because I almost fell and it is a slope here. So we'll just go ahead and get these unlatched. We'll bring these kind of around the front. And you can see I'm not really bending all that much. It's minimal. And I want stability here. So I'm going to wheel this back up. And I feel that I was able to do a lot. And again, the device is stable. I can force it a little bit, but it's stable. It's giving me the ability to stabilize myself. And again, with my feet, I just go ahead and bring this right into place very easily. And look what I'm able to do now. Total comfort, total ease. I can scoot around, I can move around, I can go pretty fast if I want to. I can adjust the back completely. So we've already done that. And you can see that it's not difficult as a wheelchair to drive. Now, if I was going to use this as a wheelchair, my mind told me that for maybe 60-70% of the time I'm going to use this as a wheelchair. You could do that. Some people do, but this is really a device that I would think of, and I do think of more as a walker. More as a walker that lets me do a lot more, because it can be a wheelchair when I need it to be a wheelchair. So if I needed a wheelchair, and if I knew that I would have days that are just specifically wheelchair days, I would get a secondary motorized folding wheelchair, because this is going to help me walk. This is going to help me be mobile. This is going to give me a lot more confidence moving around. So we'll continue our drive here. And I mean, anytime I wanted to stop, I could, even though I'm down a hill right now. So we're going to go through some people, navigate through a little group here, and you'll see how simple this is. I guess there was some bugs out, but we can see that it lets you zip in and zip out and navigate through different circumstances. And again, I mean, I'm just amazed at the versatility that I have. You can see what the wheels are doing. You can see how easy the wheels roll. You can see how smooth this is. And I'm going easy on the power. I'll probably get a total of about, maybe in power mode, if I'm using this as a wheelchair with both batteries, about 16 miles of range, maybe even a little bit more. It just depends on how I'm driving it. That's a big thing. And of course, it folds sideways, so it'll fit in the trunk or even in the back seat of just about any car. So it's easy to load and it's easy to unload. It's easy to maintain. And let's take a look here, just for a moment. Now, in the beginning of the walk, I sat there, I stayed there. That could have been the end of my walk if I was using just a regular walker or a device that was unstable, because I walked a little bit to get there, and then I would calculate how far back I have to go. But we can see that I've been at it for a while here. And I've gone back and forth. It's been a wheelchair and it's been a walker. So what I'll do is I'll take this opportunity just to thank you so much for watching this video, and to encourage you to subscribe to our YouTube channel and to visit quickandmobile.com. And now you know more about the Wheellator. Thank you so much.